And item 9 is a casing.
Okay. Thank you. Going to give you a little clip.
Okay.
A62, what do we have here?
This is a close-up of the blue latex glove that had the handcuffs in it.
I'm going to hand you what's marked as State's Exhibit Q. Tell us what the item number on that is.
Item 8.
Yeah, on the envelope, item 8, is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the pair of handcuffs and a blue latex glove.
Thank you. Next, we've got A63.
This was, it had gotten lighter outside and just a different perspective with all of the items still marked by the light pole, the casings here, and then the casings, or I'm sorry, the other items of evidence by the garage.
A64.
After we had collected all the items of evidence in the driveway, we moved the garbage can just looking for more casings, and we found one there.
A65.
This is a mid-range, you can right there see the casing. And then a close-up.
And that's A66. And then we've got A67.
Just a mid-range photo with placard 12 identifying the casing.
And I believe you still have one item in front of you marked State's Exhibit O that hasn't been opened.
No.
Can you open that?
It's a casing.
Okay, thank you.
What's that item number again?
The item number is 12.
Okay, thank you.
And I forgot to show you this photograph, but A68.
Is a closer photo of the casing with the placard next to it.
Number 12, right?
Yes. And then a close-up of the casing.
A69. And then this is A70.
This is that same casing showing the head stamp of it.
All right. So here, A71, what's this?
This is an altered close-up, so I have a neutral background. It's on a piece of paper, and it's item number 2. It's the cell phone that was from the driveway.
So when you say altered, or I guess some people might say posed photograph,
Yes.
that's where, can you just explain what that is?
Sure. So my photographs start with overalls, mid-range, and close-ups as they are, then with a placard as they are, and then before I collect them and put them into either an envelope or a plastic or a bag, I will take this type of photo with a neutral background showing both sides and what it is.
A72,
It's the back of the same cell phone.
A73,
I may have taken off
the case,
the protective case.
A74, same phone,
It's the same phone, just showing the IMEI number.
And then these photographs, A75, just a close-up of item 3.
Yes.
Another view, A76 of item 3.
Yes.
A77.
A close-up of the keys I collected.
And this one was before the key fob was removed to place it with the vehicle, correct?
Yes.
A78,
A close-up of the expanded projectile.
A79,
A different view of that.
A80,
It's item 6, showing the head stamp of the casing.
A81,
Another photograph of item 6 showing the head stamp.
A82,
Item 7, casing, showing the head stamp.
A83,
A close-up of the head stamp.
A84,
A altered close-up of the blue latex gloves with the handcuffs.
A85,
A different view with taking the handcuffs outside of the glove.
So the prior photo, A84, was that how they were collected as in that fashion inside?
Yes.
Oops, sorry. That was A86, and then A87,
Is item 9, which is a casing showing the head stamp.
and A88.
Another close-up of the head stamp, same number.
Okay. And do all of these items appear to be fair and accurate representations of what you collected minus what we've already described about the keys?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I need to switch PowerPoints for a second. Would you mind blanking that out so I can make that switch? I'm ready now, Your Honor. If you could turn it back on, please.
Okay.
I've got State's Exhibit I here. Do you recognize this?
Yes.
And can you describe what it is?
This is a bird's eye view, overhead view of the scene, showing the items up here that I collected, cruiser, and the silver SUV with the house right here.
And is there a key over to the left that kind of describes what the different circled items are?
Yes, the key is just color-coded, and then it also has the item numbers in which were collected, the items were collected.
All right. And what else is noted towards the bottom of that diagram? In the street?
This,
No, all the way to the left? Yeah.
the CPD cruiser and the silver SUV.
And how is this created, just generally speaking? How is this made?
A 3D scanner, it takes, it collects measurements of where everything is. Once we get it back to our software, we can stitch it together, so it allows you to make a diagram such as this, but it also allows you to have a 3D experience, and basically, as if you were there, you could rotate and view it from the different points that he collected.
Okay. Now, all of the photographs and the diagram and all those things that we've seen, the collected items, these were all from outside the residence at 1062 Oberlin, correct?
Yes.
Did you also take photographs or collect evidence from inside that residence as well?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm going to ask to publish some of those pictures.
Okay. Any objection?
None, Your Honor.
You may publish.
All right. Okay, starting with B1. Agent Chung, can you tell us what we have here?
I'm standing in front of the front door of 1062.
And then B2,
I'm on the inside, looking into the living room.
B3,
I'm in the living room, looking back towards the front door.
B4,
I would be standing near the stairs, looking at a different perspective of the living room.
B5,
This is the front couch in which I collected 2 items.
B6,
A different perspective showing items 10 and 11.
B7,
Item 10, which is a cell phone with a cracked screen.
and then B8,
This is going to be the back of that same cell phone.
B9,
This is item 11 with the cell phone that I collected.
B10,
It's a close-up of the cracked screen of item 11,
and B11,
the back of that same cell phone.
B12,
This is standing by the stairs looking into the kitchen.
B13,
This is me standing inside of the kitchen looking towards the stairs going upstairs and downstairs.
B14,
A different perspective of the kitchen. That's this door right here leads out to the back deck.
and then B15,
Another photograph of the kitchen.
B16.
Mail.
Hold on.
All right, please approach. Excuse me. The objection's overruled.
So Agent Chung, I'm not sure how far we got before there was an objection. What's in this photograph?
A piece of mail that I found in the house.
And B17?
Another piece of mail.
And what's the address on there?
1062 Oberlin Drive, Columbus, Ohio, 43221.
And the name?
Destiny Liddell.
And then A18.
This would be me standing in the kitchen or just beyond the kitchen, looking out towards the front door.
All right. Now, Agent Chung, did you take a number of additional photographs inside the house, approximately 44 photographs?
Yes.
And prior to coming into court today, did you have the opportunity to review those photographs?
Yes.
The remainder of the ones that we haven't seen yet, B19 through B44?
Yes.
Did those all appear to be fair and accurate?
Yes.
Okay. One moment.
Okay.
All right. Agent Chung, in addition to photographing the outside and the inside of this particular residence, did you process anything else at that scene or remove anything else from that scene for processing?
The silver SUV, the vehicle.
Okay. Your Honor, I'd like to show some photographs of that vehicle as well.
Any objections? Okay, you may.
Did you also, as part of that, process a second vehicle, a police cruiser?
Yes.
And those are included in this series of photographs. Do you have any objection to that? The police cruiser? Okay.
Okay, you may publish. No objection.
Your Honor, I'm going to switch PowerPoints again, so if you wouldn't mind blacking that out. Thank you. Okay. Agent Chung, we can run through these fairly quickly.
You ready?
If we could, yes. States Exhibit C1
Yeah. Columbus Police Cruiser 9031.
and C2.
A different angle of it on the driver's side.
Can you see a number up at the front, kind of the front side panel there too?
9031 right here.
Yeah.
Yes.
C3,
A photo of the same vehicle, 9031.
C4,
The front end photo of 9031.
C5,
A straight on photo of the same cruiser.
C6,
The front passenger side of cruiser 9031.
C7,
A straight on photo of the same cruiser.
C8,
This is the front passenger door that is opened. I'm now starting to process the inside.
C9.
A photograph looking in the front passenger seat.
And do you know whose cruiser this is?
I was told it was Officer Coy's.
C10,
A, a photo still at the front door, front passenger door, looking across to the front driver's side.
C11,
This is going to be the front driver's side.
C12,
Standing at the front driver's side door, looking into the car.
C13,
A different perspective.
C14,
A picture of the floorboard for the front driver's side.
C15,
This is the rear driver's side of the vehicle, of the police cruiser.
C16,
The door of the rear driver's side door of Cruiser 9031.
C17,
Here I'm on the passenger side of Cruiser 9031, looking into the rear portion of it.
C18,
The rear passenger side door of Cruiser 9031.
now we have C19. Do you recognize what this is?
Yes, this is the silver Chevy Tahoe that was reportedly driven to the scene.
And can you read the license plate that is there?
HQA 9019.
C20,
This is just a photo of showing the rear portion and the driver's side portion of the silver SUV.
C21,
A straight-on photo of the driver's side of the vehicle.
C22,
A front corner driver's side photo of the same vehicle.
C23,
The front photo of the same silver Tahoe, showing the license plate as well.
C24,
Moving on to the passenger side, this is just taken from the front passenger corner.
C25,
A straight-on photo of the passenger side of the vehicle,
C26,
and then the rear passenger side of the vehicle.
and then C27.
This is the front driver's side door that's opened.
So at this point, you're starting to process the inside of the vehicle.
Yes.
C28,
A photo taken of the front driver's side looking into the car,
C29,
looking directly across to the front passenger side.
C30,
A photograph of the front driver's side floorboard.
C31,
This is a door sticker showing the VIN of the vehicle right here.
kind of in the middle of the photograph there above the
Yes,
the
right
yellow. C32,
Another sticker showing its information of the vehicle.
C33,
This is the rear driver's side door.
C34,
And then it's still the rear driver's side of the vehicle, but me looking into the vehicle now.
can you describe generally kind of what's in that photograph in the rear there?
Belongings, maybe work items, I don't know. It was cluttered.
C35,
A different photo showing some paperwork and like some of the items that I just described.
C36,
A photograph of the rear driver's side seat.
C37,
This is the rear compartment showing all the tools.
C38,
This would be the rear passenger door and seat that I took a picture of.
C39.
This is a photo of the rear passenger door opened.
C40.
It's another photograph of me shooting some of the items that were located in the rear seat.
And do you recognize any of the items here, like in the forefront of the picture? Or how would you describe them?
I see possibly a butane, maybe a hat,
Okay,
some clothing, personal belongings.
thank you. C41.
A different perspective of looking down at the floorboard of the rear passenger side.
Do you see work gloves there?
Yes, right here.
C42.
This is the front passenger door that's open. I'm just capturing it.
C43.
Another photograph of me shooting into the front portion of the vehicle.
C44.
A photograph of the front passenger floorboard.
C45.
This is a photograph of the glove compartment with some paperwork in it.
And C46.
It's a photograph of the paperwork, the BMV registration form.
C47.
This is a receipt from Giant Eagle.
C48.
Another photograph of me standing at the front passenger side of the vehicle shooting into the car.
C49.
You'll see here placard 1, just a photograph of placard 1.
C50.
This is placard 1. This is a smartwatch that we collected.
And then C51,
The altered close-up of it.
where you put it on the neutral background.
Yes.
C52.
This is the back of that smartwatch.
C53.
This is item 2, which is a cell phone box right here that we located.
And C54.
A close-up of that box.
I'm going to hand you what's marked as State's Exhibit R.
Renee, you want me to open this, correct?
Yes, please.
It's the cell phone box.
Okay. And is there something inside there as well?
A cell phone?
Okay. Thank you. Next, we've got C55,
This will be the altered close-up of this box.
C56,
The sticker information for the cell phone inside,
C57,
and then the cell phone inside.
and C58.
The back of that cell phone.
C59,
This is the center console. The front, the front center console.
of the SUV that we were looking at earlier. And then C60,
This is placard 3. We collected the prescription bottles here.
C61,
And this is an altered close-up with the bottle's contents.
can you read the name that's at the top of those?
It says Bruce Robinson. Right here.
All right. One moment. Just to follow up, the vehicle that we were just looking at, that silver-colored SUV, strike that, never mind. So once the vehicle was processed, then it was able to be released to the owner once they picked it up, correct?
We impounded it to the impound lot.
And it was picked up from there, or was able to be picked up from there?
Yes.
Okay. And again, do all of these items and these photographs appear to be a fair and accurate representation of what you saw or what you collected back in December of 2020?
Yes.
Now, you mentioned earlier that you had gone to the hospital, to Riverside.
Yes.
What did you do there?
I collected evidence items.
Okay. I'd like to publish those photographs as well.
No objection.
You may.
We have States Exhibit C62 here. Can you tell us what this is and where it came from?
All of these items came from Mr. Hill's person. I don't know where they were collected, within maybe his jacket or whatever, but it was on his person at the time he arrived at the hospital. This is some cash he had, some sort of credit card or debit card. It appears that this is maybe a holder for a cell phone and then a mask.
And regarding the cash that you referenced, do you know how much cash was recovered?
$115.
Okay. Did you document the cash anywhere?
I did.
Okay. Was it initially documented as a different amount but then corrected?
I erroneously entered it into maybe my evidence list somewhere within my report that I put 110, but it was actually 115.
And then you corrected that,
Yes.
documented it?
Yes.
Okay. C63,
Those are those same items with evidence placard 1 next to it.
and regarding the cash, the $1 bills
Yes.
to the right, do you see where, yes, there, where it looks like there's something red there?
Yes.
Did you make any determinations about what that was?
As if I tested it or something.
Yeah, or just from observation, anything?
It appeared to be blood.
C64,
These are shoes and socks.
can I hand you what's marked as States Exhibit K? If you want me to take some of the other items out of your way, I can do that.
this is the clothes.
Mhm.
Do you want me to open the shoes?
Yes, if you could, please. Yeah, hold on one second. One moment. So you had States Exhibit K in front of you, correct?
Yes.
I'm not going to ask you to open that, but can you just identify, I believe you said it was closed, but can you list out what's on there or in there?
This is, what I have is the description. It's clothing worn by Andre Hill. It's a quantity of 4, black pants, black belt, multicolored underwear, a mask, a black t-shirt, a gray sweater with a fuzzy collar.
Okay. And then I'm going to show you, we'll skip ahead to States Exhibit C66.
Yes.
Can you just tell us what this is?
This is a picture of his clothing, underwear, undergarments, a mask. This is the fuzzy black sweater and his pants with a belt and his shirt.
Okay, so that's States Exhibit K that you had in front of you that we're not opening, correct?
Correct.
Then we'll back up a second to C65. And what's this?
This is the shoes and the socks.
I'm going to hand you what's marked as States Exhibit T. And I'm going to put States Exhibit L up here for reference.
It's going to be a pair of shoes and socks.
Okay. Thank you. And those are item number 2, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then States Exhibit L, if you could just identify what that is.
This is item evidence number 1. My description notes are $110 in cash, a debit card, and a phone holder.
Okay. We don't need to open those.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on, Mr. Amlin. We're going to go ahead and take a break at this point in time. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could get you back in the jury room at 3:15. 3:15. Remember the admonitions that I've given you with respect to discussing this case among yourselves or with You may be seated.
Yeah.
Are they all back?
Yeah.
Okay, good, 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 good. Ooh. All right, anything we need to get on the record? We'll bring the jurors in. Okay,
Your Honor, except for Renee.
yeah, okay,
Water went down the wrong pipe.
okay.
1 second.
Well, let me know when you're ready. Take your time.
You're so helpful. Okay, I think I'm good, thank you.
Okay. All right, Mrs. Harper? Oh, multi. So how do you spell your last name? Okay, thank you. Yes. All rise for the jury. Be seated, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we will continue with the state's presentation of its evidence. You may inquire.
Thank you, Your Honor. Chung, I think this is where we left off. We were looking at State's Exhibit C65, which you had just identified as item number 2. And then I think we'd already looked at C66 as clothing items, correct? Is that your recollection?
Yes.
So I believe we've finished all of those items. Now, these items you collected from the hospital, correct? These, the clothing items?
Yes.
Did you also collect additional items from the coroner's office?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to hand you what's marked as State's Exhibit N, and then N2. N and N2. And N1. I believe.
So we have a projectile N2.
I'm sorry, maybe I have them mixed up. Give me 1 second. I think what's on the list and what's here are different. So let me fix that. Sorry. I'm going to hand you what's marked as N1 and N. So we did have N2 before, I apologize.
Okay.
Stronger context. Do you recognize those?
Yes.
And what are those?
You want me to open them?
You don't necessarily need to open them.
Okay.
But if you can just identify what N is, where it came from, what it is.
N is the projectile that was recovered from the autopsy.
And specifically from whom and from what location?
It was recovered from Mr. Hill's autopsy, a bullet projectile recovered from his right 11th intercostal space.
And then N1, what is N1?
N1 is a bullet projectile recovered from the right buttocks of Mr. Hill. It's inside a box.
Okay. And that's you said a projectile?
Yes.
And those are all labeled and marked and cataloged and all that?
Correct.
Okay. So those are the items that you collected from the coroner's office.
Yes.
In addition to that, did you also take some additional photographs involving Officer Coy and Officer Detweiler?
Yes.
Did you photograph a firearm as well?
Yes.
You okay with the photos? Okay. All right, we're going to start with State's Exhibit D1. You could just tell us what this is.
This is Officer Coy as he was when I documented him. He's wearing like a mask type. It was cold out.
Was it also COVID during that time period?
Yes.
Okay. And these photographs were taken when?
That same night,
D2?
just the left side of Officer Coy,
D3?
the back side of him,
D4?
and then the right side of him.
D5?
Officer Coy with after he took off his mask.
And then D6?
This is going to be his pistol I collected.
D7?
That is a close-up of the serial number.
Can you read that off?
NDR6860.
And then D8?
The back half of the gun showing a Smith & Wesson.
D9,
This is the front end of the slide showing MMP 9.
D10,
And the rear of the slide with the handle showing NM 2.0.
D11,
This is his pistol with the cartridge taken out of the chamber and the cartridges that were seated in the magazine, loaded in the magazine.
and do you know how many there were? Or did you document that in your report anywhere?
I'm counting right now, is that okay?
Certainly.
$13 in the magazine, 1 in the chamber,
Okay,
so 14 total.
okay. And do you know what the total capacity was for that particular firearm?
The capacity for the magazine is 17,
And then the additional one for the chamber?
if that's how he loaded it, yes.
Okay,
Total, so that would make it 18 total.
all right. And do you recall how many shell casings were recovered at the scene?
Your Honor, we would stipulate that it holds 18.
Okay,
There were 4 shell casings recovered.
right, accept stipulation.
Yes, Your Honor. D12.
This is an angle shot of the a cartridge showing the head stamp.
Okay. Before we move on, sorry about that. It's just skipping ahead. I'm going to hand you what's marked as State's Exhibit J.
Okay. This gun box contains the pistol, and then the magazine, and then the cartridges. And then something that the firearms lab did,
Okay. Test fires, perhaps?
perhaps.
Okay. All right. So is that the same firearm that we just saw in that series of photographs we looked at a moment ago?
Can I get my glasses?
You may, yes.
It seems to be a common problem.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. All right. We're going to switch back now. State's Exhibit D13. What is this photograph?
This is a photograph of Officer Detweiler,
And D14,
the right side of her,
D15,
the back side of her,
D16,
the left side of her.
and then D17.
This is a magazine that was, I just documented showing that she did not discharge her pistol.
Okay. So nothing was missing from that magazine? No rounds were missing?
Correct.
Thank you. Can I have just a moment, Your Honor?
You may.
further, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Amlin. Cross-examination,
Proceed, Your Honor.
you may.
Your Honor, I'll be needing the Elmo, but you can leave the lights on.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Agent Chung, my name is Mark Collins, along with Caitlin Stevens. We represent Adam Coy in this action. We met a couple weeks ago, correct?
Yes,
We were dressed a little differently that day.
a little.
I just have a couple questions and topics for you. In general, Agent Chung, the situation for CSSU, or Crime Scene Search Unit, is you hope that the scene's preserved as well as possible, correct?
Correct.
You can only document what you see and what's pointed out to you when you get there, correct?
Correct.
Many times in the chaos of a scene or an incident, things get bumped, evidence gets moved, by accident, correct?
Yes,
Sometimes it's tampered with intentionally.
sometimes.
Sometimes. So you can't say when you take a picture that that item was specifically right there when the incident happened, so to speak.
Yes, correct.
You're trying your best to say, hey, this is how I found it, and you're not sure what might be relevant and what won't be relevant, right?
Correct.
So like an example, those bullet events, that's something that, based on your training experience, you're like, hey, I should do this, but it turned out they were not bullet holes.
Correct.
And so you don't have a bias one way or another going in. You're just collecting as much evidence as around there.
Yes,
And then you analyze it and report back.
yes.
Okay. And I want to apologize, and I don't mean to make it confusing, but I have the same pictures, but it'll be a different number. I'm not admitting those, but it's some of the same ones they're exactly the same ones, Ms. Amlin,
Okay.
if you okay. So first of all, let's talk about, in general, the lighting. When you take pictures and stuff, it actually enhances the lighting, correct?
Yes,
And so the photos we see is with an enhanced helping light, so to speak, to make it brighter.
yes,
Okay, and then you got there around, I think, 4 or 5 in the morning, right?
yes,
Okay, and so you're aware the incident was sometime before 2 a.m., correct?
correct.
Okay, so in those 3 hours, again, you don't know if something was moved by a medic or something was rolled over or things like that.
Correct.
All right, so that car, and again, for the record purposes, this is the Defendant's Exhibit 4. It was State's Exhibit C25,
Okay.
okay? If you'll take a look at that. So that, clearly, it was taken a little bit later later that morning.
Yes,
And those windows are tinted, correct?
yes.
Okay, and a fairly dark tint, right?
I would say so.
Okay, and then that car was actually parked at the end or close to the end of 1070, correct?
Yes,
Okay. Now, did you do any measurements from 1054 Oberlin?
no, I did not.
Okay. Your focus was on 1064 and 1070.
1062.
1062 and 1070, okay.
Yes,
Okay. But you had a general look from the area and, the spacings of the houses?
yes,
Okay, all right. Now, that wooden door that you talked about in the side of the garage,
yes,
Right.
yeah.
in that picture, there was some wood at the bottom. Was that wood actually, did you examine it? Was it blocking that door from being used?
I didn't touch it.
Okay. Did it look like it was in the wedges there?
Do you have a picture?
I will find one shortly, okay? All right.
It appeared to be just a piece of plywood that maybe would block maybe the lower half.
You don't know if that was put there to make the door non-functional or if someone just placed it up against it?
Correct, correct.
Now, Defendant's Exhibit well, let me hand it to you first, is the way I'm supposed to do. May I approach that?
You may.
This is Defendant's Exhibit 6, and I think, I apologize, I didn't catch the state's number. Do you recognize that, Agent?
Yes.
May I approach again?
You may.
May I publish, Your Honor?
You may. I mean, it's already been shown, right?
So this is Defendant's Exhibit 6, but you've already testified about this picture.
Yes.
And in fact, you said there was a shell casing found right in here,
A projectile, yes.
projectile.
Yes.
And what's to the left of there? What is that?
It was an unburned cigarette.
Unburned cigarette. Did you collect that as well?
No, I did not.
Okay. Was it, but you collected the cigarette pack.
Correct.
Did you see if that cigarette came from that cigarette pack?
I did not.
Was there a lighter found on any of the property or anything like that?
I don't believe so.
Okay, but that cigarette, I mean, it looks like it's in pretty good shape, and you saw it close enough to see that it wasn't lit?
Correct.
Okay, all right. But you didn't take a close-up picture of that or anything?
No, I did not.
Okay. Okay. And I'm sorry, here's Defendant's Exhibit 9 with that door.
Yes.
Does that help with what you saw? Is that kind of similar to what you saw?
Yes, it is.
Okay, all right. Now, you guys work as a team, correct?
Yes.
All right, and so part of your team is Special Agent Ward, Special Agent Perry Rosser, and a whole group, right?
Yes.
Okay. And part of the duties are split up between people and things have different responsibilities, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you had mentioned the tag that was in the evidence, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And with that tag, can you make out where the car is from?
Galloway,
Okay, do you know where Galloway is?
southwest of Columbus,
Okay.
in the area.
Do you know how far? 10 minutes, 20 minutes?
I don't.
Okay, all right. But it's a different village or city or what have you. It's not part of Columbus.
Correct.
Okay. And when an officer runs a tag, they're running the license plate, right?
Yes.
And when you run that license plate, it kicks back through the leads system, the tag information, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so part of the investigation that was done by your team was to determine whether or not my client ran a leads check.
Yes.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may.
This is defendant's exhibit number 8. It won't be admitted, Your Honor, or anything like that. It's just to help with our process here.
Okay, thank you.
Take a look at the paragraph that's.
Somehow it came to my knowledge.
Yes, you can read that paragraph out loud.
The leads record revealed Ohio license plate HQA 9019 was queried on December 22nd, 2020 at 1:45 in the morning, or 01:45 hours, from terminal used logged in under Ohio operator license RU 770767, which is assigned to Adam Coy.
So that's saying, basically confirming by your team that Adam Coy on the job that night ran the license plate of the silver Tahoe
Yes.
at 1:45 in the morning,
Yes.
and it came back, and then the tag information came back.
Yes.
Okay, may I approach the witness?
You may.
And then there was a bunch of pictures with regards to shell casings, right?
Yes.
Shell casings are get ejected from a semi-automatic weapon, correct?
Yes.
Normally, unless there's a special feature, they're ejected to the right, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And so you would expect to find shell casings to the right of where someone fired a weapon if the scene was preserved perfectly.
yes,
And now, you know the difference between a semi-automatic and a revolver, correct?
yes.
A revolver does not eject out the casings.
No, it does not.
It stays in there, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So your picture, excuse me, this one I do have, Defendant's Exhibit 3, State's Exhibit D11. Am I approaching there?
You may.
You've already testified to that, correct?
Yes,
So this is an example of a semi-automatic weapon, correct?
yes,
This device goes up into the bottom of that,
yes,
and then when the trigger's pulled and it fires, a shell casing kicks to the right.
yes,
Okay. Now, that's different than the setup of a revolver, correct? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may.
Defendant's Exhibit 5. Based on your experience and training as a law enforcement officer, that's just a basic revolver, correct?
yes.
Okay. May I publish this to the jury, Your Honor?
Any objection?
I got it.
You may publish.
Thank you, Your Honor. So that's an example of a revolver.
Yes,
There's different types, different lengths and stuff like that, correct?
correct.
Okay. And then the service weapon that our client had, that is a semi-automatic.
Yes,
Okay. Now, do you still have the keys up there with you?
I don't.
Okay. May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
It's okay, Agent Chuck, would you take out the keys? If you kind of extend them, would you describe those for the jury? What color are they?
There's silver keys. There are some keys on here that have a black tab on it and a membership card.
Could you lay them flat out?
Sure.
And with the court's permission, could I ever measure the length of that, Your Honor?
Objection.
Okay. Counsel, please approach. Excuse us, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, the objection's overruled.
Thank you. May I continue, Your Honor?
You may.
May I approach a witness, Your Honor?
You may.
If you could stretch them out, and then if you could use this tape measure. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Good.
Yeah, that's perfect. And roughly, Agent Chung, how many inches is that?
8 3/4.
Now, if you could put the tape in and now clump them up. Try to clump them up. Now set the clump now. And maybe try to do a measurement for the clump.
4.5.
Okay. And then maybe how about vertically for the record? So from the top, if you go from the top.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, the top down to the thing from that clump. Just trying to do it 3D perspective.
Maybe 2 inches, maybe.
And so that we're all clear, and I think Ms. Amlin touched upon this in direct, there was a fob missing from the time of the incident, right?
Yes,
And one other, I think you said that red thing, that's what differs from the picture?
yes.
Okay. It's in, it was in Detweiler's. I may have just one moment, Your Honor.
You may.
Out there. Come here. There we go. May I publish, Your Honor?
You may.
This is the defendant's exhibit. We're going to make this one 10. So here, and what's missing, I think, is you tell me what you believe is missing from your analysis of the keys and this picture.
This key fob right here,
Okay,
this red object,
okay.
it looks like that's it.
And based, I think, on your team's work, you believe that 2 items were taken off and given to people?
Yes,
Okay. Would you hand me the keys, please?
in the envelope.
Your Honor, may I walk in front of you, please?
Yes, you may.
And then the other side.
Sure.
Agent, that's all the questions I have for you. Thank you very much, and good to see you again. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. Redirect.
Redirect.
Yes.
Agent Chung, State's Exhibit 77, I believe this is the same exhibit that's Defense 10? Does that appear to be the case, the photograph that he just showed you?
Yes.
Okay, so using the laser pointer, can you kind of make a circle around all of the areas of the keys that are different now versus how they appeared in that picture? Just so we can get an idea of how much space we're talking about here?
Sure. This portion, and then this portion.
Okay, and some of the actual key fob, the black part with the little red button, some of that appears to be behind what looks like that giant eagle advantage card, correct?
Yes.
So is it a little bit difficult to see exactly how large that key fob is? Can you see it over on the other side extending, or is that a different item?
It extends to like right here.
Okay. The item, the part that's black, just to the right of the advantage card, in between the key fob and the red, yeah. Is that still part of the key fob there? Are you able to tell?
I can't tell.
Okay. But you would agree that the advantage card is covering up some of that?
Yes.
Okay. I have nothing additional, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Amlin. Recross?
No, Your Honor.